this. This right here is why American entertainment is failing. It is just American entertainment because I look at some independent films coming from South Korea, coming from Spain, even a couple of films that are coming from Germany, and they're good. They're well written. They're not cringeworthy, and they're enjoyable to watch. But when you look at America, it seems that California now has spread its tentacles and is killing. It's absolutely destroying anything that's artworthy. And here is the perfect example. Now, if you look at one of the last good entertainment that is out there, which seems to be the Mandalorian, and by the way, it's not perfect. By all means, it's not a perfect TV show. And it doesn't have to be. Like, I watched The Next Generation recently, and a lot of those episodes aren't perfect, but they're enjoyable. You know, it's something that you would recommend to a friend. And when it comes to Star Wars The Mandalorian, it's under constant attack by unhinged people on the Twitter. Whether it is the armor of the females, apparently it's not up to standards, to the cultural puritanists, whether it is that one of the actresses has the audacity to have political leanings that aren't to the left, like all the rest of the Hollywood, besides Kevin Sorbo, I guess. And they're trying to cancel her too. It's a constant attack on this show over people that seem to have absolutely nothing better to do. And the attacks aren't because the show is good and it's got high ratings. And they take no mistake, these people aren't trying to save the show or improve it. No, they're really upset that this show is an outlier and it shows how you can get people to watch it and have good ratings. Pretty much what the Orville did. And this is why they hate it, because it makes the show that they like look bad by comparison. So what is the problem? Why are they attacking the show? Because, well, the show had the audacity of trying something edgy. It had the audacity of doing some dark humor. So, something that was done constantly in the 90s. I mean, honestly, this episode that they're complaining pales in comparison to what I have seen in Beavis and Butthead or in South Park, the initial seasons. I would go to say that even The Simpsons used to have edgier episodes than this. But no, you know, like, okay, so what is the travesty? Like, it's not even like a progressive issue nowadays. It's not even like left-leaning versus right-leaning argument. It's just like these people do not like any thought-provoking questions to appear in a TV show, right? So apparently, if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, like, what I think makes it great is that the episodes aren't trying to push some grand narrative. It's not very complicated. It's just like a Western. You have the hero, which you can hardly call a hero most of the time. He's more like an anti-hero. And he's traveling the galaxy and he's meeting various people and he's solving their problems. That's pretty much it. Like, all the episodes can be kind of standalone-ish. It doesn't really matter the way you watch the season. You can watch them in any order. You know, kind of has a throwback to the 90s, as I mentioned. And in one episode, he meets, I guess, what you can call it as a space frog. They meet, like, the space version of Pepe. And the space version of Pepe requires to be taken to a different planet with what appears to be her eggs. And because her eggs are very fragile, they cannot drive to hyperspace because that would kill the eggs, so they have to drive very slowly. And because, you know, like, drama needs to happen, the hero encounters a couple of evil space police officers. He has to land on a planet. And while this journey takes place, Baby Yoda eats some of the eggs. Now, take into account these are an endangered species. These are like the last one of their kind or something like that. And Baby Yoda eats them. And this is for a joke purpose. It's for humor, right? It's supposed to be funny. And I get it, it's dark humor. Like, this is an endangered species. And Baby Yoda, being a baby and not knowing anything better, he consumes the eggs. Oh my god, people are freaking out on Twitter over this, and apparently, like, they're trying to cancel the show, and I have seen them sending death threats to the director and all of this nonsense, and you know, like, it's very funny because when people who aren't left, I'm not even going to call them right, like people who are not with the woke culture, you know what I mean, right? If they even say something remotely disparaging towards a producer, oh my god, it's a hate campaign. It's like the media will not stop talking about it. But when it's people that are the correct citizens doing it on the Twitter, the media just doesn't report on it. Like, they're not even casting moral judgment, like, meh. I mean, I have seen, just so you can understand where this started from, like, there was this person saying they have problems with fertility issues, like, they have problem getting a kid, and this movie was so upsetting to them. It's like, okay, then go see a shrink and stop watching television. That person should be banned from watching entertainment, because unlike the rest of us, they cannot just have that switch on their brain to tell them, like, what they're watching is fiction. It's got nothing to do with reality. Honestly, these are the pod people. That's how I like to call them. They are the pod people. Like, they are secluded from civilization, I suppose. You know, like, maybe they have an office job, or maybe they work from home. And all they do, like, the only way they can reach out and experience reality is through entertainment. And for them, like, the entertainment has to be to take place of the university, to take place of the school, to take place of the mommy and daddy, because everything that they watch needs to not be offensive. Because if it's offensive, they freak out on the Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, I generally do not care. Like, look, if you cannot have a baby because you have fertility issue, you know, man, that's tough, but I don't understand why you have to ruin my entertainment with this. Like, it seems like it's a you problem and not an us problem. Like, these people just throwing their problems onto society and expecting society to fix it. What is easier, one person to deal with their issue, or 300 other million people to deal with that guy's problem? I mean, the only way I can describe these people is that they are too lazy to move this all the way to this. They're too lazy to do it. They are low energy, low effort. Why should they do it at the end of the day? Why should they be the ones that get out from their chair, walk all the way, pick up this thing, and move it all the way to the plot? Why? Why don't they get society to break down the wall and move this closer to them so they don't have to do the effort? You have to do the effort to cope. Like, I'm sorry, if you have like some real life issues that are bad, again, that sounds like a you problem. And I can be compassionate, I can understand. If you want me, I can avoid the subject, but I draw a line. I draw a line where you need to bring your issues and ruin the entertainment for everyone, for the rest of us. Like, because you can't cope, and you can't turn off the television, or you can't just switch the channel. You need to now create this drama so that the rest of us can't enjoy entertainment. Well, why is this a thing? Why is, and since when it has become a thing? Other normal nations, I know the word normal is becoming excruciatingly rare nowadays, but other normal nations like South Korea give these people the middle finger. And they just go on with their entertainment, which is why TV shows like The Kingdom, or TV shows, or movies like Train to Busan are excellent. And I recommend them, and I want to watch them. Because they're good. They don't care about these whiny babies that not only do they not like the things they watch, but they want to change it for everyone. And you know what? I even like scratch that. They actually like this shit. They like it, because if they don't like it, why would they watch it? How could they criticize if they're not liking it? So no, like they like it, they watch it, but they can't be silent about it. Like they need to be the perpetual victims so that the lights and cameras and action is focused on them. Now we can't talk about Baby Yoda. Now we need to talk about these people, how they're super offended because they have fertility issues and they saw Baby Yoda eating some fictional eggs in a fictional movie. It's fictional at the end of the day, right? Like this, what do they expect? What, like, seriously? So because this TV show is showing to people Baby Yoda eating the eggs of an endangered species, do they think like kids are going to reproduce that in real life? Like they're going to eat the eggs of some space frog that wants to get on Mars? Like, what is the harm that comes from? What is the bad moral message? No, they just don't like jokes. That is it. You know, the death of comedy, it's here to stay. Making me speak with a squeaky voice, doesn't it? Huh? Why do you guys like it when I speak with a squeaky voice? I never understand this. Like, every time I have to edit my videos and I have to listen to my voice, it's horrible, painful. But, you know, I appreciate it. Like, you guys have it more than I do to be able to watch my channels. I do thank you a lot. Sorry for not uploading a video yesterday. Some bad things are happening in my family. You know, I spoke about it on my main channel. My uncle passing away. Yeah, kind of had to put a little bit on the brakes, but I'll try to upload to this channel a little bit more frequent. Like, there was something that happened at Ubisoft. There is more shenanigans with Assassin's Creed that are worthy to talk about, and yeah, I gotta say, the reason I made this video is because I'm worried. Like, this is one of the last shows that I'm enjoying. There aren't that many. I already stopped watching The Walking Dead. Supernatural was like Old Yeller that had to be put down. There is nothing on television that I like. And these people are the ones ruining it. And I notice the same trend again and again. The reason it's ruined is because Hollywood directors are afraid, or the TV show producers, they're afraid to try anything new. Like, they know, okay, well, if you make the show like this, it works. No one will complain because it's not offensive. And it's boring if it's not offensive. If something is not offensive, it's not worthy to watch. It means it's not thought-provoking. It means I have absolutely nothing to gain from that. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks this way, noticing the pattern, noticing the ratings. You know, like, just try to be more thought-provoking. All the shows in the 90s were thought-provoking. You know, when Captain Planet was on the air, it was actually controversial. A lot of adults didn't like it. And that's the point. That's the point. It has to be a little bit offensive for people to enjoy it, especially if it's made for teenagers. Or it has to make some woman's vagina moist if it's like 50 Shades of Grey or, you know, Twilight or whatever. Like, just pick one. Like, look at your target audience, see what they like, and give it to them, all right? The target audience of The Mandalorian are not people with fertility crisis. And if you have fertility crisis, I feel sorry for you. It's quite... I understand, it's hard, it's difficult, but leave the rest of us alone. I'll see you guys in the comment section.